The Toronto Raptors haven't missed a beat after losing their star player in Kawhi Leonard. This season, they went 46-18 and are second in the Eastern Conference behind the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the Raptors are already one of the best defensive teams in the league, having the second best defensive rating in the league. They have so much defensive talent that are motivated to play hard night in and night out. Now, losing a guy like Kawhi is no joke. He is a superstar and was the main guy that led the Raptors over that hump. Losing him was a huge slap in the face for the franchise, but in order to stay competitive and have a top record in the league like that, after losing a talent like Kawhi, other players have to step up. Pascal Siakam is an all-star and one of the top power forwards in the league. Kyle Lowry is an annoying defender and leader of this team. This is a given. Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol are the veteran guys that play their role to the best of their abilities. But guys like Fred VanVleet has stepped up completely into being a 17 points and 6 assists guy, continuing to prove that he is one of the more underrated guards in the league, a pesky defender and an even more craftier scorer. Drawing questions onto how he even went undrafted in the 2016 NBA draft. OG Anunoby is showing glimpses that he can be a two-way player in the league, an elite defender in the place of Kawhi Leonard, and arguably maybe the Toronto's best defender, which is impressive given the defensive talent on this team. OG really has the potential to be a lockdown defender, and usually from a young player like him, you'd expect him to be a bit sloppy or have moments when he makes questionable mistakes, but he is a polished defender. He suffocates the opposing player, and you really have to know what you are doing when you are going against OG, or he will strip the ball from you. He does have a tendency to foul players a bit, but that's his only problem on that end. He can guard almost every position. I have hope he'll get better on the offensive end as that comes with time. You can't really teach defense. You can teach defensive principles and having that discipline, but the instincts and putting in that effort you can't teach. OG has already shown that he has potential to be an elite level defender, as he has taken that leap in the Raptors roster this season. For a young kid already in the league, his mark is already being made as he ranks 10th in defensive win shares and ranks 14th in both steals and defensive rating. Now, Norman Powell has taken a huge jump in productivity this season. His scoring has been much needed as his average has jumped from 8.6 points last season to 16.4 points and 3.7 rebounds on extremely efficient shooting, 50% from the field and almost 40% from three. Overall, he ranks 14th in true shooting percentage at 62%. He has been a player who has flown under the radar this season, but he has been one of the main contributors to the success of the Raptors. This guy has been on fire, and when the Raptors need a bucket, they can call on Norman to get one for them anytime. His progression in the NBA has been up and down, but now he seems like he has finally figured out everything. You can see now in his play that he is extremely confident. So basically, they lost a superstar in Kawhi Leonard, but Fred VanVleet, Norman Powell has stepped up offensively in place of Kawhi, and OG Anunoby has stepped up defensively in place of Kawhi. They have stepped away from relying on Kawhi Leonard and has played basketball as a team. Their team defense is remarkable and their offense is consistent. The Raptors won a championship based on their defense, so they kept that intact while having other players step up offensively. This team has every ingredient for being championship contenders. Team play, elite defense, a leader in Kyle Lowry, an emerging star in Pascal Siakam, and a mix of veteran and young talent. Plus, a good luck charm in 3 rings in 3 seasons with Patrick McCaw. The Raptors also have under-the-radar talent on their team such as Chris Boucher, Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, Stanley Johnson, and Patrick McCaw, who can really be good role defensive pieces if any injuries sustained to their starters in the future. Now, in my opinion, the only realistic threats I see in the East are Miami, Boston, Toronto, and Milwaukee. Although I'm not all too sold on the Celtics, they can be a sneaky team. Miami may put the most pressure on all Eastern Conference teams, but the Celtics and Heat, I feel, are missing one piece to put them into championship threats, but they are so close to that level. I do believe we may have an Eastern Conference Finals between the Toronto Raptors and the Milwaukee Bucks. Toronto has so much defensive help to push them to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's kind of difficult to measure these teams because I feel the Bucks lost pieces from last season, but Giannis is Giannis and is playing on another level. And the Raptors lost Kawhi Leonard but made it up with more guys stepping up in their roles. A series between the two can honestly just go either way. This all relies on if the Raptors find a way to slow down Giannis with their defensive talent. We all know that playoff games are extremely different than regular season games. And even if the Raptors don't make the finals this year, they have so much growing talent to compete for years. So the 2019 NBA Finals may not be the last time we see these Raptors in the finals.